And he and Borg head over for the first break between games. How much of a factor, John Newcomb, is this wind going to be, and who will it hurt most?
I think it, you know, when you're playing in the wind like this, especially blustery conditions, that you have to get to the net. It's difficult to play from the baseline and control the ball. It's also very difficult to play passing shots, and it can be difficult to lob. On the other hand, it is difficult to smash also.
Here's what happened to John McEnroe along the track to the finals. Nunez, Gullickson, Pat Dupre, Kevin Curran, Krishnan, and in the semifinals, Vitas Gerulaitis.
I think the important thing about looking at that field that McEnroe beat is that he got through to the final even though he hasn't been playing that well. He is still in the final, and if you can get through to the final not playing well, I think you might bring out something a little extra when you get there.
The mark of a champion. Here's what happened to Borg. Gundhart, Stefanki, Carter, Yannick Noah, Roscoe Tanner, who had been something of a nemesis for him here, and in the semifinals, Jimmy Connors in straight sets. Full house, that comes, I'm sure, as no surprise. It's been almost that way from the very beginning of the tournament. They've broken records every day, records that will probably have to stand for quite some time because that's just how big the place is.
Pat, you might point out the big shadow that comes from the scoreboard on top of the stadium. That will eventually go all the way across and be off of the court, but for the time being, that can be a little bit of a problem for the players with the ball coming out of the sunlight and into the shade.
McEnroe, of course, on the right, and Borg on the left, and in recent years, they've had some true classics. Some of the finest ever played.
I think you're going to see Borg try to come to the net as much as he possibly can in this match, and what you asked me a while ago, Pat, about in the windy conditions, I think McEnroe will get to the net more than Borg.
Nuke, do you really mean that Borg's going to get in all he can, or do you think he's going to come in some of the time? He's not going to serve and volley much, you think, except for a surprise factor?
I think he'll have to serve and volley quite a bit on the first serve.
Borg?
Yes.
That's good.
Borg doesn't think so.
30-15.
Wasn't good.
Oh, it was. Borg had a 30 love.
Was good, right. McEnroe did not complain.
No, he got the point, so he's not going to complain. It's his favor. When you see Borg take a look like that, he feels it's out.
$40-15.
After ranked #1 by the ATP, both in singles and doubles. Borg's racket came out of his hand. That's reminiscent of his final against Jimmy Connors a few years ago when he had a thumb problem. He has no thumb problem that we're aware of, though he does have tape on both hands. That's more of a protective mechanism, make sure he doesn't get blisters. His racket is strung at 88 pounds of tension. It's hard for me to believe. That's what the stringer tells me. It's good. That's the kind of shot that will normally
30.
carry long from that end because the wind is at his back, and when you underhit the ball, slice it, the wind carries it out most of the time. 40-30. Tremendous return by McEnroe.
Deuce.
set up that short ball where McEnroe was able to get to the net, and see him covering the down-the-line shot, standing on that side of the court, anticipating Borg to hit his forehand down the line.
Good hustle by McEnroe.
It really was, and Tony, when he got up to this backhand, played a good shot for a backhand.
Borg.
When he got up to this backhand, he had no choice. He had to go for it.
Tried to drive it hard.
Yeah, he tried to flick it across court with some topspin. Couldn't quite get over the ball.
National Tennis Center, Borg serving. They had 1-2 in the first set. The men's finals.
Long.
Game, Borg.
That'll even games at 2-all. Those of you watching the
Games are
Redskins and the
2-all.
Giants, welcome to the men's finals of 1981. Games are 2-all, McEnroe and Borg.
Two best players in the world. They had 128 players in the men's singles. And as all the fans, I think, hope for, you want to see the two best contest for the final, and here we've got them.
Please. Thank you.
So far in McEnroe's first two service games, he hasn't lost a point, and he has 2 aces going for him already.
The chairman of the board of CBS, Mr. William Paley, enjoying the tennis. And it's going to be an enjoyable afternoon, I'm sure.
Love.
That's number 3 for McEnroe.
That's the problem you face when you stand as deep as Borg does return serve. When somebody slices a ball, it'll keep running away from you. The curve becomes greater and greater. You can't get up and cut it off. So we'll see if Borg tries to do something to stop that. McEnroe doesn't think his serve was good.
Johnny Carson back today.
30-15.
He spent a long day here, an enjoyable day here yesterday. Back again. 30-15.
Too much stuff on that serve for Borg to handle that time.
So it really came off the court quick, didn't it?
A lot of action on it.
40-15. First set of the men's finals between McEnroe and Borg. It's McEnroe 3-2. First set of the men's singles final. John McEnroe leads 3-2.
You know, Pat, it's amazing when you look at Borg's record. He's won Wimbledon 5 times, the French 6 times, the Italian twice, WCT. Of course, Davis Cup, he helped win the cup in 1975 for Sweden, won the Masters in 79 and 80. This championship and the Australian Open, the only 2 major championships he hasn't won.
He was awfully impressive against Connors last night. As the match stretched out. In fact, he said he felt that was the best he had played in the tournament.
You saw there how close McEnroe was standing in on the second serve of Borg, and that's what caused that double fault. He knew McEnroe was going to chip it and come to the net.
That apparatus you saw a minute ago was Tennis Magazine's speed gun that lets us know the velocity of the serve as it comes over the net. And Borg was
30-15.
hitting some rifle shots last night. (30-15).
Tremendous forehand by McEnroe after a long rally.
30 all.
Now, Pat, last night, Borg's fastest serve was clocked at 117 miles an hour. It'll be interesting to see what he does today, and of course how fast we clock McEnroe's serve. Good depth on the approach shot.
40-30.
That was 106 miles an hour. Nuke, since Borg played later yesterday than McEnroe did, McEnroe started at 11 o'clock yesterday morning, did have more an effect on Borg.
No, it shouldn't. His match was not that long against Jimmy Connors, even though it finished around 9 o'clock.
This.
McEnroe's holding his own at the moment in the baseline rallies, which is an area that one would imagine Borg would dominate.
Long.
Advantage Borg.
Thought that one ball near the baseline might have been out. I don't think he's really convinced himself that it's out, so he's not saying anything.
I saw Borg beat McEnroe on a similar surface to this in the final of the Canadian Open 2 years ago. And the one area that he did give McEnroe a lot of trouble, he pinned him into the backhand corner by topspinning his forehand deep into that corner. He was quite having a lot of success with that particular tactic. This court's just a little faster than that surface was, though.
They are 1-1 on surfaces like this. Overall, the series is 7-6 Borg.
You see McEnroe's won the last 2 matches against Borg.
Low 15.
Borg is not returning that well right now. He's not getting the ball down. It seems to me, Nuke, that he's trying to be satisfied just to get the ball in play at the moment. He's not worried about it's too high, but I think if he starts getting the range in the field, he's going to start rolling it over a little bit more to get it lower.
It's going to take him a while to get the range in the field on McEnroe's serve, too, because McEnroe's serve is so good.
See how deep and how far over Borg is standing. When you stand as deep as Borg stands, you've really got to get that return of serve down low, because if McEnroe gets in so quickly, he can get in real close, and if the ball's high, it's all over.
First double by McEnroe.
Love 30.
His first serve, the one that missed, the first one that missed, was 109 miles an hour.
And the serves that McEnroe served to Borg's forehand side will be the faster ones because he's hitting it more flat. When he breaks it the other way, he's got more spin on it, so it's not going to go as fast. But it might be just as effective. Triple break point for Borg. Things going along fairly quietly, and all of a sudden you look up and Borg's got triple break point. Unforced errors, neither made any on the forehand yet. 6 for McEnroe on the backhand, 5 for Borg. Interesting, because McEnroe is the kind of guy that goes after the ball more than Borg. Borg, with that good topspin, plays it safer. See, Borg stands fairly far back, but as the toss goes up, he'll move forward. Bjorn Borg has broken serve. Mathers out here most of the day yesterday, enjoying the tennis. Borg to serve with new balls, 4-3 first set.
Dr. Henry Kissinger.
There was a time in Borg's career when he would have backed off that short ball. He'd have hit it and backed away, but he is not afraid to come to that net. You see the percentage of first serves thus far. Good percentage for Borg, not good for McEnroe. And I still think, Pat, that the person that serves the best today is going to win it.
Good volley. Served and volleyed on the second serve. Something he hasn't done so far.
It also surprised McEnroe because he thought he was going to come in.
He thought he was going to chip and come in.
Right, and he ends up looking up, and there's Borg standing at the net in a good volleying position.
It's 40 love.
Caught the tape.
40-15.
One thing you see about as you watch Borg, when he attempts passing shots, he looks exactly the same as when he's hitting shots in the rally. He doesn't rush it. He doesn't change his style to change his swing at all. You've seen it. Borg's only won 4 tournaments in 12 since the Open here last year. Played very little tennis. Matter of fact, he's only played 1 tournament this year between Wimbledon and this championship. Good aggressive play by Borg, and he stretches his lead to 5-3.
Borg leads 5-3.
People might be wondering why Borg hasn't played that much since Wimbledon. Well, he did plan to play another tournament, the Canadian Open, but he got sick just before it, and he couldn't play, and that was 2 weeks before this tournament. His other tournament he played was Stuttgart, which he won.
You watch Borg move forward now on the second serve. That was a smart play by McEnroe, mixing it up a little bit. Instead of serving and coming all the way in, he served and started forward. Borg rolled the ball down short. McEnroe stopped, had a chance for a good swing at an approach shot, but missed it. You do that a few times, Borg won't know whether to drive it deeper or try to get it down low and short.
That is the second double fault for John McEnroe. bit of trouble in the first set.
Please.
Not just a bit, Pat. 3-5, love 30. McEnroe waiting. Wind is gusting around.
That was a tough shot to smash. It looked easy, but it had topspin on it.
40.
Wasn't very high, and with the wind taking it, it dropped so quickly, all of a sudden it wasn't a smash.
And Borg has 3 set points. You see McEnroe has won 8 of the 12 Grand Prix tournaments in 1981 that he's played in.
Boy, that toss was low. McEnroe had a lot of trouble with his first service yesterday in his semi-final against Gerolaitis, and he actually survived by some great second serves because he was down 11 break points in the 5th set. And most of them he had to live on his second serve.
I think McEnroe fooled Borg that time by going to the forehand
30,
side.
40.
He put a little kick on that serve too instead of slicing it, and had quite good depth on it.
2 set points saved by McEnroe. He's still down set point at 30-40. He needs a first serve badly here. And he got it. Not a bad effort. Down triple set point on your serve, gets the deuce.
Yeah, he really goes to work when he's down love 40 or 15-40 on his serve as well as anyone I've ever seen. Steadies himself, concentrates, really starts to work the receiver around.
McEnroe had Borg on the string that time. A lot of pace on his shots.
Advantage,
Borg was on the
McEnroe.
defensive the whole time. Now McEnroe has the advantage coming up from love 40. McEnroe not getting many first serves in at all. It's going to be pretty tough to beat Borg if you miss a lot of first serves.
It's going to be tough to beat him if you miss second ones too.
Yes.
Third double fault for McEnroe. He's served 3 aces thus far. McEnroe gets patchy on his serve sometimes. The toss gets a little low, a little shaky, and he seems to lapse now and then, and he can really hurt himself. It's wide.
Do you think he wanted to go down the line that time, Tony?
Advantage, McEnroe.
McEnroe was standing there.
I don't know, Nick, but I know that as he was partway through the swing, McEnroe moved to cover the cross court, and it looked like it made Borg lurch a little bit. Do a little something extra. Advantage McEnroe.
We were pointing out the other day McEnroe's ball toss. Hand tossing the ball, how well it goes up and stays up there, holds the body weight back.
It was wide.
Yes.
It's about the third ball that McEnroe's had high up there on sort of the high forehand volley to the overhead area. It looks like it's a simple shot, but they are tough to control. You see McEnroe 46%, not good at all. Borg 69% at this stage. That's the percentage of first serves. See, Borg, it's hard to keep him in our camera. Our long shot, he gets back so far.
Took a little bit of pace off at that time. We're just trying to make sure he got it in, but that caused Borg to mistime it.
Sitting alongside Labor. Borg, leading 5-4 in the first, will serve. Wind at his back.
McEnroe saved 4 set points on his serve. It's wide.
15, love.
Everything that McEnroe's hitting short now, Borg's really thumping and moving to the net behind it. He's hitting the ball deep too, giving McEnroe no room to make his passing shot. It's keeping a lot of pressure on McEnroe.
Good topspin helps the player from that end of the court, particularly because the wind is at their back and the ball comes down a little quicker. You can bring it down even though that wind's pushing it towards that baseline. Good anticipation by McEnroe.
No mistake about the volley either. I don't think you can hit a volley harder than this because he had to move very quickly, though. Had good net coverage. You can see him waiting for the down-the-line shot there.
30-15.
First service.
That was 104 miles an hour.
First service.
Still 2 to come.
Boy, it looked like Borg was in big trouble, too, because McEnroe's shot right here, the backhand, takes Borg wide out on the run.
40-15.
Now McEnroe's going to cover, looking for the down the line. He thought he had Borg caught late. You see he was on the opposite side of the center service line, the left side. Borg goes cross court. Come back at 40-15 double set point. There's the first set to Bjorn. Borg at 6-4.
6-4.
Tony, there's an interesting stat here that in McEnroe's first 2 service games, he was serving 100% of first serves in. Since then, his serving average is only 31%. That's since the first 2 games. Overall, it's around the 40s. But what does he do now to get in more first serves?
I think he's got to put a little more topspin on the ball. Don't hit it quite so hard. Borg stands so deep, you can still get in a good volleying position. Borg will be in a lot closer to make contact with the ball on the second serve, as does every good player. Good crisp volley by Borg.
And Borg continues to do one thing exceptionally well. He's hitting the ball so deep that when they're getting into the rallies, McEnroe's getting no chance to get on the initiative.
And the other thing, too, is because McEnroe's not getting many first serves, and he's not able to come in successfully behind his serve, and that's a big part of his game, getting to that net. Good net coverage by McEnroe. He mishit the second volley.
15 all.
Not this one, but this the second one right here. This was a mishit. You see John getting it all. Kiss that one goodbye.
That was not a mishit.
You normally can't give Borg 3 swings at
30,
you on passing
15.
shots and be very successful. He's just too good. McEnroe up to 50% of his first serves. Looks like an attempt at a drop volley, huh, Nuke?
Yeah, it was. He was trying to do a drop volley because Borg's shot was so good he was left with no option. But it was pretty tough to do a drop volley off such a great cross-court shot with topspin like that.
It dips quickly. You got to really watch it.
A lot of McEnroe's serves in this game have landed very short. It's giving Borg a better chance to make a good return.
McEnroe's obviously groping a little bit. He's not really serving well for him.
In singles final, Borg won the first set 6-4. McEnroe took the first game of the second set. Borg trying to win this tournament for the first time ever.
Paid attendance 18,841. Sensational crowds. Records.
Pat, I got the feeling from there's Fred Perry on the screen there.
That's his wife, Bobby.
And just behind, looking on, is the great Althea Gibson.
I got the feeling, Pat, from the first set that
15
the
all.
crowd were more with Borg than they were with McEnroe.
I think that's a feeling that's mutually agreed to. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Oh, what a great shot. I think he mishit it a bit, didn't he, Tony?
It looked like he mishit it, but he got a little extra top on it as a result. Borg started after it, realized there is no way he's going to catch up to it, because once it hits the court, it accelerates, going forward toward the back wall. Perfect shot by McEnroe, at least the result was.
Wow, that's what Borg was doing to Connors last night.
30 all.
One stage in the second set, he was 4-1 and love 40 down, and he put in 3 straight aces.
Served 4 in that particular game. Got it. Break point for McEnroe.
30, 40.
Go ahead, Tony.
Good court coverage. Watch McEnroe. The racket's ready early on the run. That was not that tough a shot once he got to it. The court was wide open.
Whoa! What a shot at what a time on break point.
Really was. You know, when Borg was
leads
down 15-30 and came up with the ace, you'd think that'd sort of take the sting out of you, but McEnroe came right back at him again.
Quiet, please. Thank you.
pretty tough to take the sting out of either one of these players. They've been in it too long and they're too good. McEnroe's down. He lost his racket. You know, I've got to question the soles on the shoes that he wears. You watch again now as McEnroe's feet start going out from under him here. Watch him scramble for his racket. He says, take your time, Bjorn. I need a little more time. You just don't see players slip on a hard surface like this as many times as McEnroe has.
I wonder if it doesn't have something to do with the fact that we counted how many times he retied his shoes. And the match against Carolitis 8 times at least. Maybe he gets tangled up with his shoelaces. Doesn't get tangled up with his racket when he serves, though. That's his 5th ace. That's 107 miles an hour.
Remember, last year he had some ankle problem, and I wonder when he really has to press on that ankle if he doesn't just psychologically, you know, let it roll.
Just don't forget either that he fell in his match yesterday and did hurt his ankle a little bit. He said it did not bother him throughout the rest of the match with Carolitis. But if he did turn it a little bit, he has to feel a little bit today. Double break point for Borg.
2 forehand volleys missed. They were not good forehand volleys. Is that his weaker volley, Tony? I think it perhaps is.
I think it is, but John volleys well on either side when he goes at it properly, meaning bending down and really studying the ball. He was straight up and down on that one. He gets a little careless at times at the net. Long. You know, I don't think either player thought the serve was good.
30,
Looked to me that both of them sort of hesitated. That's history now. It's a break point save by McEnroe. Still break point for Borg.
Deuce.
Allen caught the line. That's ace number 6.
McEnroe is trying to act like he thought that was a let. He just flat got beat by a good return of serve off an excellent serve.
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't think it was a good return of a serve. It was a great return of serve.
And it was an excellent serve. Borg's not really getting a lot of those return of serves down, nor the passing shots higher than he would like to have them. Of course, that makes it easy pickings for a guy that's as quick at the net as McEnroe is.
Since we'll be around here a few
please.
more years, we were proud to announce
Thank you.
earlier. Borg will serve. Down love 3 in the second. He won the first 6-4.
He had a chance to get back on serve there, and McEnroe was up to the task.
Borg, after the volley, took
15
advantage of the
love.
short ball, and see how far he is behind the baseline now. Watch his footwork as he plays this shot, anticipates the short one. Perfect footwork as he came in.
Love. Love. Game Borg.
Methodical for Borg that time
McEnroe leads
to make the score 3-1
3-1.
McEnroe in the second set.
In 2 of McEnroe's last 3 service games, he's been down love 40 in one and 15-40 in the other, and yet Borg has not been able to break him in those games. Any significance in that, Tony, do you think? That
The only significance to me is don't give him too many opportunities, Borg, that is get you down like that, because he's going to start knocking some by you.
15 love.
I don't think Borg is returning as well as we might see as this match progresses. He's not getting the ball down as he normally does. That, of course, could be because of McEnroe's left-handed serve.
boy, he really nailed that one, didn't he?
Yeah, it was really set up, though, by the good return. It made McEnroe right here half volley. No pace on the ball. Now Borg gets to set up and make a decent swing at the second shot.
You see him rip that racket head through it just as he made contact with the ball.
It was wide.
30-15.
No airplanes, Patrick.
Been lucky the last 2 days.
We keep talking about the wind. It's a big plus for us.
Too good.
Now, these guys get the balls and make it look so easy. That's an awful lot of court to cover that time by McEnroe, from going wide to his forehand side to get all the way over there for a ball that lands in the other corner. Boy, McEnroe was lucky that was called fault. No way he would have gotten to that return.
I got to feel that Borg has to lob more. And
40,
watching
30.
him play at Wimbledon this year, I don't think he lobbed McEnroe enough. McEnroe gets very close to the net after the first volley.
He might find it more difficult to lob on the end he's on now because the wind's with him, but when he's against it, it could work very well.
Game McEnroe.
Doubles. Stolly, of course, played with John Newcomb.
Please hold on
And
behind the court. Thank
Newcomb
you.
and Stolly almost beat McEnroe and Fleming, who wound up winning the championship. You enjoyed that, didn't you?
Great time. Loved it out there, Pat.
McEnroe's first serve percentage up to 59%. Borg's at 65, I believe that figure was.
Love.
Borg's has dropped about 5 percentage points.
Crowd seems very quiet, waiting for some of the fireworks that always seem to occur when these two meet. Huge crowd it is.
30.
It's a third ace by Borg. Not that one, the one before, the ace, the clean ace, was 121 miles an hour. That's wide. And that's the fastest serve of the day, and I think of the tournament, at least of those that we've recorded.
.40-30.
Good shot. Didn't try to hit it too hard, just used a lot of control and depth.
This.
Got Borg in real trouble now, 4-1 deuce.
Oh, hit it down the line and skidded right past Borg. Great get. Great placement by McEnroe. Watch this now when he gets up for this drop volley.
Advantage,
I don't know if you'll be able to tell on the replay, but this ball, once it is past Borg, and Borg would have had a chance to get to it, but it hits right on the line, and then just accelerated, scored it right by him. So we'll come back live. It's break point McEnroe. Twice that McEnroe's got around to hit forehands for winners on break point, so he now will be serving
McEnroe
at 5-1 in the second set.
That's got to worry Borg, the ease with which McEnroe did that on that second serve.
First serve.
And McEnroe didn't think the serve was good.
15 all.
He barely made the volley. He was going to let it go, thinking the serve was out.
Good serve. Fooled him completely that time.
Ace number 7, he'd even make a move for it.
Didn't look like it was one of his hardest serves either. Just completely fooled him.
Good disguise on McEnroe's delivery.
Over there. Default.
He missed by 3 feet.
30-40.
Break point for Borg. Got to be careful. Can't let up with a guy like Borg. It's out.
Game Borg.
Borg has broken serve.
Borg has the serve.
People are starting to get into this match a little bit now. If Borg holds this serve, it'll be very interesting to see how well McEnroe can serve on his next game.
They've got the lights on so that as darkness does approach, it won't be too much of a shock for the players. Probably don't need them right now, but later on they will. Third by Borg.
30-15.
Neither player serving as well as they were early. They're the unforced errors.
Both of them missing more in the backhand than forehand. McEnroe would love to break this serve and start off the third set on his own serve.
Whoa!
Great point, and that's set point now for McEnroe.
30-40.
See if McEnroe tries to get around and hit another forehand.
They'll have to.
Second set, McEnroe.
4 double faults for Borg
6-2.
now. McEnroe wins the second set 6-2. Borg won the first 6-4.
Mr. McEnroe to serve. Third set. Quiet, please.
Mariana Borg and Leonard Berglund next to her. Borg's wife, of course. Berglund is coach.
15.
Like 50 yards. Oh, thank you very much.
Well, those two serves in the deuce court missed by a tremendous margin.
Stinky. Stupid.
Borg's putting some good returns back on McEnroe, but he's not stringing any together.
First game, third set. Sets are 1-all.
Break point for Borg.
Yeah, we'll get a chance here to see if he can string two together.
40.
It's a good serve by McEnroe. First serve, Borg able to get ahead of it, get it cross court. McEnroe trying to give it some body English, but it didn't work. So McEnroe serving down a break point.
Yep.
You know, Nuke, I always felt that when you got a player like Borg that returns from that deep in the court, if you can make a short volley on your first volley, not a drop volley, but a short one that stays down, got to be very tough for him to get there and do anything with the ball. Another break point for Borg.
Once again, there's nothing you can do about a passing shot like that. It's just too good. He cut that volley fine, didn't he?
This.
I'm sure a little closer than he wanted to.
I was surprised Borg didn't hit a winner on the shot because he was set up inside the baseline to make the pass, and normally he's going to make it from that position.
He had his choice which way to go, but McEnroe outguessed him.
Borg's been having some success on returning this second serve by running around the backhand and hitting his forehand back across court. At that time, I think McEnroe probably made a smart move because he is serving slightly into the breeze, and it's hard for him to get a good slice serve going to the backhand or down the middle of the court. Made a smart move by staying back.
McEnroe.
Another smart move by...
And the Emmy Awards,
Thank you.
and then one day at a time. Borg 6-4 in the first, McEnroe 6-2 in the second. Borg serving at love 1 in the third.
And the trend has kept on going with
15 love.
Borg having opportunity to break McEnroe's serve, but not being able to do it, except he did do it once in the second set, but then immediately lost his own serve.
First serve percentages have gotten very close now. 59%, 58%.
Call.
A couple of double faults coming from Borg at some inopportune times. Bad double faults too, down into halfway down the net.
That's his fifth. It's 15 all.
Called out.
30-15.
Let's take a look and see if we can tell.
That sure looks good,
Looks
doesn't
good,
it?
doesn't it? Yeah, it does look good. That ball disappears hitting that line.
Score is 30-15, nevertheless.
Pretty tough point.
40-15.
That last forehand by Borg just had a little bit too much on it. McEnroe couldn't get to it. 40-15.
Game Borg.
McEnroe doesn't think that serve was good.
Yeah,
Games are 1-all.
putting a circle around a mark that's supposedly there.
That's good.
That particular game, I thought Borg really opened up a little more and got back to what he was doing in the first set, was hitting the ball with incredible depth, about a foot from the baseline all the time. And that was setting him up to get on the attack, take the initiative.
Again, you see how deep Borg is in the court.
I agree with what you said before, Tony. I think you were saying, that you think Borg probably should stand in a little closer. It's hard for him to run down that second shot.
Particularly, he's not making good returns. Then you see Fred Perry of the sunglasses behind Borg there enjoying his tennis.
False.
That's good. Call that one and not the other one.
15-all.
I think it's fine for Borg to stand back that far when he's playing against a right-hander, but playing against a left-hander with a good serve, you move in closer, you can cut off that swing, and the ball's swinging away from you on the backhand side.
Plus, you got a guy like McEnroe gets into the net so quickly. It's the first attempt, I think, at a lob by Borg in this match.
And that's the end that you said he should lob from, too, hitting into a bit of the wind.
Hit a little bit short, but I think that's the end that you can really be most successful with on the offensive lobs. Borg stands deep to return serve because he wants time to be able to take a swing at it, because he feels he's more effective that way. He doesn't want to stand in close enough where he has to just block the return. Let's see if he can get the returns lower.
People.
Right. This is wife Tony with him. And that's a service ace by Borg, number 4.
Borg serving at 1-2 in the third set.
I was 10 years of age watching that match with my father.
You've got to be older than that.
15 all.
6 double faults by Borg.
And they're creeping in more and more frequently now. He's throwing in about 1 a game. You know, matches and momentum can change, but right
15,
now, Tony,
30.
just watch this point again on the attitude of the two players. Borg sort of a tentative volley there, almost a block volley. McEnroe very confident on the passing shot. Just get the feeling, looking at the
15,
two
40.
players and their attitudes, that McEnroe seems to have a lot more positive attitude than Borg at this stage.
It's a double break point. Shot. Excellent serve. I want to mention, if I may, that Vic Sace's wife, Tony,
30,
told me
40.
that her dad is in the hospital, and we certainly want to wish him well if he's watching. Hope he's feeling better. Two break points saved by Borg.
And McEnroe quite rightly can't believe that he missed that shot. There was no real depth or strength about the shot that was hit to him.
Anticipated the pouring down the line, was right there. A little shaky. He's certainly picking Borg's passing shots well most of the time.
Game Borg.
Borg hangs on. It's 2-all in the third set.
Games are 2-all.
Funny, you get the feeling that those opportunities for breaks, even though it's a set of pieces, are so crucial because they both play so well. Say, boy, when you get that opportunity, you got to try to really capitalize on it. Obviously, they want to do that themselves, but
Getting out of a game like that can sometimes give you a lift. See if it does it to Borg right now.
15 love.
touch by McEnroe.
Gee, that's a tough shot to play, Tony, especially if you look at where McEnroe was
40-15.
when he actually had to play it. He was almost at half court.
And stretched out.
Yeah, very tough. Not a tough shot to do if you're right on top of the net, but from back there, very tough.
See if Borg tries to go cross court if he gets under backhand.
I think he'll try and swing this real wide on the second.
That's trouble. McEnroe tried a drop shot from too deep in the court.
30 all.
Did not make a good one. Borg is quick. Got in, made a good shot down the line, and forced that short defensive lob. Two all, 30 all, third set. Sets are one apiece. Break point for Borg. He held that one better.
He really did. He didn't anticipate that at all. I think he was looking for the cross court, wasn't he, Tony?
Looked like it. Borg got it back and sort of started the racket forward and held it just a second.
It was a great shot. I liked McEnroe's first volley, too.
It sort of froze McEnroe, and John wasn't sure which way to go. Another crucial break situation for Borg. He has not been able to capitalize on the break situations he's had. Let's see if he can do it this time.
We're in the third set with Borg leading 3-2. Sets are 1-all.
And Pat, the players have been losing their serve from this end where Borg is now serving from. He's serving into the wind.
Love 15.
Good deep approach shot by McEnroe.
15
Didn't
all.
look like he looked at the ball very well at all on the volley. Borg made a good shot getting it down below the top of the net. The big question obviously is, does Borg win the U.S. Open for the first time in his career, or does McEnroe become the first 3-time winner, which is 3 in a row since Big Bill Tilden?
Good shot from both players there. Good racket work.
30-15.
Johnny Carson enjoying things.
Yeah, he says, how you do that? Man, I try to do it. Mine don't come off like that.
He stays up later than they do.
I'm not so sure. Called the McEnroe household this morning about 9:30, quarter 10, and Mr. McEnroe said John was still asleep.
Nice deep approach shot. Gave him plenty of time to get into good net position.
40-15.
And he got in close. Borg a little more aggressive than he was in that second set.
That serve was aggressive, 112 miles an hour.
Borg leads 4-2.
You know, I get a feeling that Borg sort of lulls you to sleep. He goes along, he doesn't make a few returns. You may break his serve, and all of a sudden he jumps out at you. He gets your service break when you least expect it. Here he is back in command, at least in a good lead here in the third set. It's out.
And just a short while ago, it was 2-on McEnroe, 15-40 on Borg's serve. And the momentum seemed to be swinging in McEnroe's favor.
First service percentage has improved from what it was a minute ago.
Tough volley that McEnroe made there. High backhand volley.
15-all.
Tough to get any pace on that kind of a shot. John did it with a little pop of the wrist.
Good serve right in the corner.
30-15.
Borg's been running around a lot of those second serves on the first court, and it's a little easier from the end that McEnroe's serving from now. He has the wind with him.
Awfully good anticipation and handwork up the net by McEnroe. See here, this is sort of an angled volley. Tried to angle, didn't get us over as far as he wanted. Now Borg has time to go either way. He goes back down the line. McEnroe waiting there and picks it off across the court. 40-15.
That was really interesting how he held his position on the line too to cover the down the line shot. Do you think that from what we've seen of McEnroe at the net and Borg trying to make passing shots, Tony, it appears that McEnroe is reading or can guess where he's going to hit the ball?
Maybe Borg giving it away because John certainly has anticipated correctly most of the time.
This is what they anticipated. These two were seeded 1 and 2. McEnroe was 1, Borg was 2. McEnroe broke Borg's streak at Wimbledon. Borg has never won the championship. McEnroe trying to win it 3 times in a row.
Fairly aggressive backhand passing shot.
Love 15.
Preparation is what I think we've always admired on this shot. Watch McEnroe's racket come back. Ready position, side onto the net. That shoulder turn Tony Travitt likes to talk about.
Wide.
15-all.
Apart from all the good preparation on McEnroe's backhand side, he can go down a line cross court with equal efficiency, or he can do a topspin lob off it, and it all looks the same at the beginning.
15-30.
Not a bad shot. Start with the racket head low, little flick of the wrist. Over the head and down. Oh. It looks too easy, doesn't it?
Double break point for McEnroe.
15-40.
Again, you'll see good preparation here. That racket's ready. He's got a good shoulder turn. Borg couldn't get to it. Borg's approach was short. Now he's serving at 15-40. Tremendous tennis by John McEnroe to break back and get even at 4-all.
Mother and father looking
Games
on.
are 4-all.
You don't see much better than that.
Now the topspin lob. You see the racket head where it finished then. Finished to the back side of his head. Not around the front. Really had to come up on the ball sharply. Just 4 clean winners, nothing to it, and you break back. Not a bad game, that last one, was it?
It was a tennis clinic.
That swinging left-handed serve giving Borg some trouble.
It's got to shake you up a bit. You know, you're leading 4-3 in the third, a service break, and your opponent just hits 4 cold winners. They're unbelievable shots.
Oh, I used to play against Lou Hode, Nuke, and he was that kind of a player, too. You're going along okay, and all of a sudden he just knocks some by and you have no chance.
Do that now.
Talking to some photographers behind him. Another attempted return catches a tape.
40 love.
Nuke, I haven't seen Borg miss this many returns. I don't think he's returned well at all, do you?
He's been missing a lot on second serve returns too, hasn't he? Dropping him down into the net.
See the unforced errors by both players.
Game, McEnroe.
Sounded like they're hollering Borg, Borg.
Thank you.
I think we'll see a fairly aggressive game out of Borg. When he's in some kind of trouble, he normally gets more aggressive. Might even see him serve and come into volley. He's cranking at that first serve. He hasn't gotten it in yet. He's going after it now. Good volley by McEnroe.
15-all.
Tony, I think the one thing Borg has to try and do from this end when he's serving into a slight breeze, it's only a slight breeze now, but I think he's got to try and get to the net somehow.
Well, he can certainly come in behind the serve if he wants to, though. It's not his normal tactic. McEnroe got there in plenty of time.
It's set up by this good lob from McEnroe over the backhand side of Borg.
30.
But he covered the court so fast to get there.
And he also put extra topspin on to bring it down. 15-30. That's out. And it's a double set point for McEnroe.
Pressure just starting to get to Borg a little bit now. That was not a tough shot. He tried to play it too good on the approach shot.
McEnroe's been knocking the ball past him some when he's come in, so he tried to get it deep. Missed it long. Watch out for McEnroe. He might try to come in off the second serve. McEnroe didn't get his approach real deep, but Borg still made a terrific
30,
shot.
40.
See, this ball lands inside the service line. John was leaning for the cross-court shot. Borg went back along the line. It is still set point.
Unbelievable footwork from Borg then.
That should tell you who the crowd is pulling for. That serve was 115, 115 miles an hour from Borg. It's deuce.
Another set point for McEnroe.
Yeah, it was a good, intelligent rally from McEnroe. Then he did chops and slices and top spins, pulled the ball short, hit it long, did everything.
That last one also pulled Borg out of court. Borg decided to try for a winner and missed it. Second serve, hit the forehand along the line. Borg got to it, but couldn't do anything with it. Mr. McEnroe on the left with Mrs. McEnroe, John's parents, behind Leonard Berglund and Bjorn Borg's wife, Mariana.
Quiet, please. Thank you.
What do you think, Tony? Do you think Borg might be just a little bit groggy now? 4-2 he led, and he looked like he was going to take out the set, and very shortly after that, he suddenly lost at 6-4, and he hasn't played that badly to lose it.
I was surprised. I thought he'd be a little more aggressive. That's normally his instinct, is to attack more in a crucial situation. I think you'll see him go after it a little bit more and gamble a little bit.
15 all.
That's the 10th ace by John McEnroe. Borg has served 4 aces.
That Borg didn't attack more in that last game makes me wonder whether he might not be a little shell shocked.
McEnroe was a lot more careful on that high forehand volley than he was on the first forehand volley that he missed. Was not good.
40-15.
Can't tell who Johnny Carson's pulling for, Pat.
Convincingly. McEnroe wins the first game of the 4th set. Borg 6-4 in the first. McEnroe came back 6-2, then 6-4, and then took the first game of the 4th set. Looks in command at the moment. Central, 3:30, 4:30 Eastern, 3:30 Central and Pacific.
15 love.
15 love. Second game of set number 4. McEnroe's up 2-1. Borg serving. Earlier today, Ann Smith and Kevin Curran beat Joanne Russell and Steve Denton, who was his doubles partner, to win the mixed doubles championship. And Kathy Jordan and Ann Smith won the ladies' women's doubles championship.
Those stats show you get that first serve in, you win a high percentage of the points. Second serves make it a lot tougher.
40 love.
See the difference. Miss that first serve, you got a problem against a good player. Good deep shot by McEnroe.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that last stat. Borg only winning 1/3 of the second serve that he gets into play. It's the same as Vitas Gerulaitis yesterday.
Another good deep shot by McEnroe. It was tough because Borg made an excellent second serve. John got it within a few inches of the baseline.
That one he won't get a few inches of the baseline. 111 miles an hour from Borg.
Games are 1-all.
1-all the 4th.
That was Borg's 5th ace. See, McEnroe served twice as many aces as Borg. Last night against Connors, Borg served 14 aces.
Two Grand Slammers together. It's only been done 3 times as far as the men are concerned. Twice by Labor on the right, once by Budge.
Borg is not getting on that return of serve still. He's missed those returns badly. The forehand in the deuce court was way out. That was out several feet. Would have been an ace, but it was a let.
Good first.
See how close McEnroe gets into that net. He made an excellent serve. When he sees that ball floating, he really keeps on charging.
I was just watching Borg then as he was returning serve, concentrating on him, and he moves forward as soon as the ball is tossed up in the air, but then the ball's going way right or left of him. He's always stretching on the return. Hasn't got good body weight over to help him get a stronger return. It's all been done with the arm.
But McEnroe really has a tough serve. Most players think Nuke that his is the toughest serve in men's tennis right now, right?
I would agree with that, especially because of the strength of his second serve.
Borg missed it.
McEnroe leads 2-1.
Crowd definitely trying, excuse me, Pat, definitely trying to encourage Borg.
15.
Bjorn appears to have just lost a little bit of concentration or confidence at the moment. He's going to really have to pull it together.
15 all.
6th ace for Borg. Only 101, but placed very well.
15-30.
When McEnroe won at Wimbledon this year, he beat Borg 4-6, 7-6, 7-6, 6-4. So after losing the first set 6-4, as he did here, came back to win the next 3 sets.
Also at Wimbledon, Borg had a break, I believe, in the 3rd set, same as he had here.
Double break point for McEnroe. Borg broke a string.
Not a good time to break a string either.
Going to have to go over, take the long walk, check his other rackets, then come back and make a second serve. He knew which one he wanted. He had it sitting on top of the stack.
Remember, now he only has a second serve coming.
This can be a tough one to get in, Pat. Great shot by McEnroe. You'll see him on the dead run. Again, you'll see good racket preparation.
3-1.
And he rolls her back cross court. Borg couldn't get there, so McEnroe is serving at 3-1 in the 4th set. He leads 2 sets to 1.
Borg wasn't even sitting on the line for the down the line shot then. It was right in the middle. Super cross court shot.
Good shot by Borg.
Love 15.
Tony, that's what I think he has to do now. He has to go all out. He has to be totally aggressive and try and take some of the initiative.
Time is running out for Borg if he can't get a service break back. There's Leonard Berglund and his wife, Bjorn Borg's wife, in the hat next to him. As Berglund coaches Borg, works with him, travels with him. Borg's got to be very, very concerned. He may not show it outwardly, but inwardly he feels things slipping away, and he is not playing that well. Has not been able to pick up his game. Not a very confident looking forehand stroke by Borg. He had an opening but didn't really go after it. Right here now you see Borg comes in very sort of tentative on that shot and let McEnroe get to it. John didn't get over the ball, didn't get any topspin on it, so it floated long.
Thank you.
McEnroe serving at 15-30, but he has a break serving at 3-1 the 4th set. Wide. Good chance for Borg here to get back into this match. 15-30 on McEnroe's serve and a second serve. It fell over. Ooh, if that didn't come over, Borg would have 2 break points.
That's the situation.
15-40.
6 double fault by McEnroe. Back to the shoes. Crowd encouraging Borg now.
They also think McEnroe is stalling. We commented in his match yesterday on several occasions when he was behind, John would end up tying a shoe. That could be coincidence, but we'll see what happens here.
Anniversary of the USTA, and we're watching the men's singles final. McEnroe and Borg. Borg won the first set 6-4. McEnroe came back 6-2 in the second, 6-4 in the third. And McEnroe serving, Borg serving rather, at 2-3 in the fourth.
That's long.
Love 30.
Love 30. Arthur Ashe, captain of our U.S. Davis Cup team, have a match come up in Portland the first weekend in October against Australia. Borg in trouble on his serve.
Service ace number 7 as McEnroe took a long look. The umpire today, by the way, for this match is Robert Balink of Pensacola, Florida. I've heard very little from him.
Which means they're doing a good job.
There he is. Borg gets even.
30 all.
Break point for
30,
McEnroe.
40.
Borg just got the break back.
Yeah, two very loose shots from Borg, very uncharacteristic for him in this game, especially at this stage. This is where he's usually rock solid.
That's long. John McEnroe is broken right back. He leads 4 games to 2 in the 4th set. He leads 2 sets to 1.
McEnroe leads.
He'll start serving with new balls.
And there were 3 errors from Borg in that game, which, as I mentioned, is very uncharacteristic for him. Just has to make me wonder. It's maybe as well as being a bit confused about the style of game he should be playing, he may be getting a bit mentally tired. He hasn't had very much tennis at all since Wimbledon, only 1 tournament. He hasn't had any real long matches in this tournament.
Well, he's only going to play one style. That's the one he's used to win all those Wimbledon and French championships. You just got to see whether it's good enough or whether John McEnroe is too good for him on this given day.
Please be seated. Ushers, please help right there. Thank you.
The delay now is tough on the players. McEnroe's got to get this second serve. You see the unforced error is almost even. See how close McEnroe got into that net for that concluding volley. Here he comes. Borg gets a couple of cracks at him. Short volley.
I got to go back to the lob. Why wouldn't you lob in this position?
I think he thought he had the opening. He didn't get it cross court. Borg didn't get as far across court as he wanted to, but McEnroe covered it beautifully. 15 love. Borg had him fooled, but caught the tape. McEnroe covering the ball down the line.
McEnroe moving closer to his third straight.
As we see that forehand winner from Borg.
30-15.
Moving around the backhand, playing it down the line. Good footwork. We've got a stat here that says that in the first two sets, Borg committed only 3 unforced errors on his forehand. And since the end of the second set, he's committed 10 errors on the forehand.
That's usually his big weapon. He's more aggressive off the forehand side.
Boy, he really jagged that one, didn't he?
He was looking for it. You watch Borg's racket here. He's already preparing on the backhand side. And he yipped that racket head out way ahead of the ball so he could get it cross court. 30 all. Second serve of McEnroe's went 91 miles an hour. It's pretty fast for a second serve. See the concentration on the players' faces. It's crucial time. Excellent serve by John McEnroe.
40,
That's
30.
Mr. McEnroe in the green shirt. Leonard Berglund behind him in the middle of the picture, Borg's coach. Sort of like riding in the back seat of a car, Pat. You're not sure if the driver knows what they're doing. You know, you can't do a thing about it. You got to sit and watch.
Out, game McEnroe.
Missed and game. Borg will serve.
We might see McEnroe take some chances this game because he does have the service break. And McEnroe will be serving from the end that has the breeze slightly at his back. Good passing shot by McEnroe.
Love 15.
His return put Borg in trouble.
Super racket work from McEnroe. Then he hardly moved his feet at all.
It's wide.
15 all.
Good first serve that time by Borg.
First serve.
Didn't go over.
15-30.
A few times he has come to the net, Borg. He has got into trouble, and I feel it's because his approach shot and his first volleys are not strong enough. McEnroe is able to hit out on them.
McEnroe moving closer. And closer.
Ball. 15-40.
Double championship point for John
Quiet,
McEnroe.
please. .40.
McEnroe took a look at the linesman like he didn't like that call. Serve at 111 miles an hour by Borg. Saves another match point. It's deuce.
That's his 8th
Advantage.
service ace. 112 miles an hour on that one. Crowd hoping for more tennis.
Stadium. Here's Borg going down the line with a backhand. He knows McEnroe's in trouble. Comes in, instead of the drop volley, he punches back in the same corner. And McEnroe
leads 5-3.
The last time McEnroe served from this end, he lost his serve.
Thank you.
Number 7 by McEnroe.
Little nerves, Nuke.
Trying for a little extra. I don't know whether it's nerves. Obviously tension of the moment, but
boy, McEnroe was looking at 2 match points on Borg's serve. There's the double fault situation. All of a sudden he's down 15-love on his serve.
certainly went for that serve and the volley, both of them on the line.
15-all.
Crowd didn't like the call. They're also booing because McEnroe went back to tie his shoe again. Buying a little extra time. 15-all.
He really went for that one too, didn't he?
That's out.
30-15.
Borg has made a couple of those when he stepped around the backhand, hit the forehand. That one he missed by a couple of feet.
It was a good second serve, though. He really hit it hard.
And now it is double championship point But McEnroe is serving this time instead of receiving.
I wonder if Houdini and the headband can pull it out again.
Game, set, and championship, McEnroe.
For the third year in a row, John McEnroe Jr. is the United States Open champion and leaves little doubt about who's number one.
And for the first time since Big Bill Tilden, someone has won the U.S. Open championships 3 years in a row.
McEnroe the victor, the champion, over a very courageous and talented Borg as well. Presentation of the championship and his grateful statement
This was a great
to the fans of New York.
match, and the runner-up, Bjorn Borg, is truly a great champion and a great credit to the game of tennis. We are sorry he is unable to be here to receive the runner-up award, which is the reception of our silver tennis balls, emblematic of being a runner-up in our national championships. And now we're delighted and so happy to be able to present this championship award to our new champion in 1981, John McEnroe Jr. This is a silver replica of the championship trophy, and one which John will get to keep as his permanent possession, and is contributed by Fortunoff. And now we also have for John our gold ball, which is emblematic of being a champion in the U.S. Open. John, put this with your other two that you've won the last 2 years. I would also like to say this is the first time since 1925 and Bill Tilden that any man has won this championship 3 consecutive times. Congratulations, John. And finally, for the first time in U.S. Open history, we present John with a sweater that is emblematic of being a champion of the U.S. Open. John, congratulations.
Well, I don't really know what to say other than the fact that once again, I'd like to thank... Okay! I'd like to thank all my friends once again that came out here. They deserve it, man. I'd like to single out my coach, Tony Calafas, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have won this tournament 3 years in a row. Thank you, Tony. And also my parents and all that kind of stuff. And I want to join in the commiseration for Bjorn, because I think he is a great champion. And sooner or later, I think he's going to win this damn tournament, but hopefully not as long as I'm around. And I hope to see everyone again next year, because I'll certainly be here. Thank you very much.